All right, guys. So the reason why I'm coming out, I wanted to go over this with you guys. Some of the stuff some of you guys might know. Right? I just want to give you guys a refresher. And the reason I want to give you guys a refresher is because I want to see you guys win. Okay? I don't have to go over like things financially. This has nothing to do with insurance, right? I mean, there's a little piece where it's tied into what we're doing, right? Your primary source of income, but I don't have to go over this with you guys. I want to. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys make more money. I want to see you guys become better off, right? The same way I want to see our customers be better because of us is the same reason why I'm going over this with you guys is because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whenever you decide to, whatever that next opportunity is or whatever that next chapter of your life is, maybe Priscilla decides to get married and go to San Diego, right? Hopefully you guys can take some of this stuff with you guys and be better off because of it, right? Nobody went over this stuff with me when I was your guys' age, right? Nobody did. Nobody sat down with me, broke it down. It was all honestly very confusing to me. And some of it still is, right? I don't know all this stuff. I just know that I need to set aside a little bit of money to invest in this thing, to invest in that thing, to make sure that I'm setting myself up financially, so that way I can be financially free someday, okay? And that should be a goal that all of you guys have. That makes sense, okay? Don't want you guys to be tied to, any opportunity, not just this, right? Like I want you guys to be good, right? That you have options someday, that you get to do things with your life and your money and things like that. So I wanted to just put this together. Honestly felt called to do it, right? I'm a pretty spiritual person. Felt called to just go over this with you guys so that way you guys can be in a better position, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, okay? Let's move to the next slide. Cool. So let's talk about what's going on right now. So as you guys know, the world's like crazy right now, right? Some stuff going on. We got wars. We have, the World Health Crisis. I'm saying World Health Crisis because for YouTube, right? If I say the other one, they might demonetize me. So World Health Crisis, right? And there's just all sorts of different things going on. And again, the reason I'm wanting to go over this with you guys is because I'm feeling the same vibes that I felt that I didn't know. I'm feeling the same vibes from like 07, 08 when things took a crap. And there were so many people that came to the bank and were like, I used to make six figures, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I used to make six figures. You have no idea how many times I heard, I used to make six figures. I used to make this much money. And now, looking at their bank accounts, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's going on now, right? Like, I can see it. And if they were smart with their money, they wouldn't have been, and who has those friends that it's like, man, back in high school, I was the man, right? Like I would have made it to the league, but my leg, you know what I mean? Or my this, like, that's how these people sounded. That's how these people sounded, but with their money, right? Like, back in the day, I used to make, six figures, this and that. And so nobody taught them this stuff either. And so, as you guys know, I just feel strongly that there's going to be some opportunities in the coming years, and we're in a great industry, right? We're in insurance, it's bulletproof. As you guys, some of you guys were over here during COVID, we were, damn it, I said it. We were fine, right? We were fine. We were busier. We were essential, right? We actually got busier, and it was a blessing to be in this industry. So, we're in the right opportunity to take advantage of this. You guys are all in the right opportunity to take advantage of it. And so, again, let's pull up a couple things. I kind of just want to hammer this point home. Click on this debt clock, Jacob. You guys ever look at this? It's crazy. This is the debt clock this is literally a website. This is the U.S. national debt right now, in real time. Debt just going up. Right? And this is making our dollar weaker, okay? So, I don't have very much optimism in just saving your money, especially right now. Obviously, I think we need to save enough to have an emergency fund, but I don't feel, nothing about what's going on in the world right now gives me confidence about the way that they're managing their money So we need to take some extra steps, okay? So let's go ahead and get out of this. Drawing that comparison to 06, obviously with what's going on this year. You can just skip to the next slide, okay, Jacob. So something is coming, right? A lot of these conferences that I go to, a lot of these people that are experts, they're like, a crash is coming. It's coming. There's some sort of financial crisis that's gonna happen in the next couple of years, right? Things have been like this for too long. And some of you guys might be too young. I know I kind of posted on it, but some of you guys might have been too young to have experienced, like, I feel like only Lee and maybe Andy might be able to agree with me, and Dave, with what happened in 06, 07. I was just graduating, and it was a tough time for a couple of years. But the people that dominated, the people that were disciplined, the people that were investing during that time, they're chilling. They've been chilling for the last decade, right? There's a lot of people that, as that happened, they saw the opportunities and they just tripled down. They quadrupled down, and now they're chilling off of those efforts. And they're going to be even stronger for this next crisis that's about to happen, okay? So a lot of you guys are young. I want you guys to be prepared. Okay, so let's talk about what can we do first, right? What do we do right now, okay? I'm assuming that this is your guys' primary source of income, okay? It's safe to say. Raise your hand if this is your primary source of income, okay? So everybody, Mishi out here hustling. So this is everyone's primary source of income, so we need to master this, okay, and fully maximize this, okay? But it's not going to take just this. Like, I'm not trying to sell you guys on our opportunity here, right? I'm not selling you guys for you guys to like get the most out of you. I'm just not that type of leader. I want you guys to win for you, okay? And we're going to go over that. But you guys can use this as a vehicle to get what you guys want, okay? So, go to the next slide. So, this opportunity as insurance agents, we've already gone over this. It's a bulletproof industry. We have this lucrative commission structure that you guys can take advantage of, right? Outreach, you guys always have the opportunity to get into a licensed sales role if you guys want to further your income opportunities. Service team, as long as the book is being taken care of and the book is growing, I'm able to pour more into you guys and to take care of you guys even more. And cross-selling is a big piece of what we're going to do. So we have to maximize that. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So you got this big line right here, your ability to earn 45 to 100K with roughly 40, maybe 43 hours a week, okay? That's what this opportunity entails, okay? So there's this big line right here because where you're going to fall completely depends on you, right? Where you're going to fall in between this 45 to 100K is completely on you. The reason I don't have less than 45K is because unfortunately, if you're not making that much, it's going to be hard for you, right? I'm going to constantly be coaching you, constantly be having conversations with you, constantly. If it's not me, it's going to be Vasa. And we're trying to develop you to get you to that level where you make more and you take advantage of this, okay? So in 40 to 43 hours, okay? I'm going to use this math here in a little bit, and you guys are going to understand even deeper. Go to the next one. Now, I will tell you, becoming a master at this, becoming a master at sales, it's not just going to happen in the 40 hours that you're here, okay? There's some things you guys need to do on your own time that are going to better prepare you, okay? I think I've told you guys this multiple times. During my pizza delivering days, I was listening to success CDs. I'm listening to sales CDs, right? This is before you guys, spoiled brats, can like pull up just YouTube and just podcast and listen. I literally was illegally burning CDs and Tony Robbins, I'm like nail polish, like TR Part 7, TRPT 7, PR, Tony Robbins Part 6, Part 8, right? And I would pop these bad boys in. I'm driving to CSN, getting my formal education, but I was more interested in my self-education, okay? Because the self-education is what's going to make you freaking filthy. That makes sense. For formal education, they didn't teach us none of this stuff, right? So, I tell you guys that because, I try to send you guys stuff on a regular basis that I think will impact you. Some of you guys are going to listen to it. Some of you guys aren't, right? I even ask, who's interested in learning hearing a call from Beth, right? This is a 45-minute call from Beth. I think there's some value in there. Anybody listen to it yet?
I only listened to like 10 minutes.
It's only been a day, right? I'm not expecting you to, but I'm going to be sending these gems out to you guys, and some of it's not even going to be Craig Wiggins or Allstate related. Some of it's going to be like Brian Tracy, Grant Cardone. It's going to be somebody that I think will be able to add value to your guys' life, to add value to your guys' knowledge, and something that's going to help you become more skilled at sales for either this opportunity or the next opportunity after that. Does that make sense? Okay? It's not just going to happen here. You're going to get the vast majority of your training here, but it's going to take some skin in the game, right? Like, while you guys, it's going to take some stuff on your own time to become great, become, multimillionaires, become financially free. So, self-development, I think I hammered that home. The books you read, the podcast, this information is available to you guys. And, I was in San Diego. I was in San Diego recently, and I know that you guys are different because you guys have all written out your goals. So kudos to you guys. Thank you, Jacob or Boss or whoever implemented that and had you guys write your goals out. But I'm talking to my sisters, and they're asking me for, for help and stuff, and I'm trying to pour into them. My sister's in San Diego, and so I tell them, I'm like, it drives me nuts that I feel like I talk about this a lot on social media, right? As far as writing your goals down and getting clear on what it is that you want, because when you guys get frustrated, the reason why you're frustrated is because you think you're supposed to be somewhere or closer to something, but you haven't even identified what that is. So you're just going in these circles of just frustration because I'm supposed to be somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know, where are you supposed to be right now, Priscilla? I don't know, somewhere. But you haven't defined that, so therefore, when you're not clear on it, you're sending the universe or God or whatever you believe in mixed signals, and so you're just going to get that back. Make sense? So it's just this vicious cycle of, I don't know. So I feel like I talk about this a lot, and so I look at my sister and I'm like, all right, Fatma, so have you written your goals down? You see me talk about this all the time. She's like, I know what they are, sort of. And I'm like, no, have you written your goals down? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, Gulsum. Right? My sister Gulsum. Have you written your goals down? No. I'm like, well, what the heck? You should at least take a moment to put it on paper to figure out what the heck that is. Okay? So write your goals down. So some of you guys have, and I'm very happy that you guys have, because you guys are going to get closer to them. You guys will be checking them off over the years. I promise you will. Okay. You can't become a master in these 40 hours alone. It's going to take something else too. Relationships. Okay? I encourage you guys to establish relationships with people, with partners, with people that, just relationships have been very instrumental in my development, and I know they'll be instrumental in your guys' too. So it's going to take a lot of self-development. It's going to take a lot of relationships to get to where you guys want to be. So when I say go out marketing, I don't want you to look at it as I need a mortgage partner, right? No, this might be a lifelong friend, right? Might be somebody that impacts your life in a big way. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, this is what Jacob was referring to. Jacob's like, I put 45 hours into Elden Rings over the weekend. It's the same reason I quit playing video games. I bought this game called Skyrim one time. Got this game called Skyrim. This game was so badass. It was the coolest freaking game I've ever played in my life. Ray's laughing because it probably consumed some of his life too. Right? You could fight dragons, you could absorb their powers. I was I'm gonna be a master magician where I throw flames and fireballs, but I also have I worked on my sword, you know what I mean? So I was a magical swordsman, you know what I mean? I was destroying dudes up. The game was so sick. And I remember I bought the game. I had it for 2 days. Bought the game. The first day, spent 4.5 hours creating my character and starting my journey, right? The second day, I played it for 6 hours. As soon as I got home from work, I went to work the next day. I was so tired, it affected my sales performance the next day. Third day, I took that shit back to Game Crazy, and I was like, I need to trade this in. I just bought it, you know what I mean? I should be able to get something for it, right? They give you nothingness for it. I bought it for 60, gave me 40. I'm like, dude, it was just 2 days ago, you know what I mean? But I turned it in because I realized that I have a real life character to build, you know, and not a fictional one. You know, no disrespect. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy your free time, right? But if you have certain goals, it's going to require a certain sacrifice, right? And so that's on you. You know, that's on you. There's nothing wrong with video games. I'm a huge gamer. I really thought my entire career I was going to be something in gaming. I really did. But, again, I didn't. So I want you guys to think about your time, all right? 168 hours in a week. 40 are here, okay? 49, you're getting sleep. Roughly, if it's like maybe 7 hours a night. Some of you guys might get less than that. So 40 hours are here. Let's subtract that. Let's subtract 49. Maybe 7 hours of commuting, maybe an hour a day spare. Okay?
What?
I'm 5 minutes away.
Okay? That leaves you with 72 hours. So we subtracted work, we subtracted sleep, commuting. What are you guys doing with the other 72 hours? What are we doing with the other 72 hours? Okay? Go ahead and get the next one. Okay? What can we do with these 72 hours? Now, like I told you guys, I'm not trying to just sell you on maximizing here. I don't care if you just do 25K, 30K, 35K, 40K. Maybe you want to be a savage psychopath like Isaiah, right? And make $10,000 in each of the last 2 months, right? But it's going to take something else, especially over the course of the next couple of years when there's about to be some chaos. Does that make sense? Maybe you should start a side hustle. Maybe you should start a side hustle. I don't know what that is, right? I know Ray has if and when Ray's pops off, he'll be making more money than all of us, right? He'll be making way more money than all of us. I just want front row tickets, you know? Be there, just be like, I know that dude, you know? Right? But some of us need to spend time, our weekends, researching stocks. I don't know. Researching side hustles. There's like all sorts of stuff. E-commerce stuff, right? Preferably try to set something up that doesn't require too much of like your time. You know what I mean? You want to set something up where it can kind of build itself. Okay? What's a side hustle you guys know I've been doing?
Water.
YouTube. Water. Right? I was telling Vasa, it's a shame the other day that I feel that I go harder at my side hustles than some people do at their main hustles. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way, right? Like, no. How do you expect to get ahead if you're not pouring into everything that you guys are doing? Does that make sense? So, yeah, I got a couple side hustles. The water one is completely passive. Babe, send it to my girl. Babe, they're interested. Babe, you know. YouTube is not passive, but it will, right? Now, I can stop YouTube right now, drop one video every 6 months just to keep my credentials, and then I'm making like $500 a month off of YouTube. Does that make sense? How are you spending your time? What are some things that you guys can eliminate? Side hustle, yet invest in skills, okay? That's what I mean. Learn the skills to master this until those side hustles come. You might as well master the lowest hanging fruit. Again, I'm not here to, you know what I mean? You guys ought to master this and then master something else too, right? And we'll go over this, but you know, again, I want you to think about what's taking your time. What are some time killers? You said Call of Duty? I know what mines are. I can tell you this right now. When Ozarks comes out, oh my God, I'm like, damn it, I gotta watch this now. Like, you know what I mean? Cobra Kai. Like, there's like 3 shows that I'm like annoyed every time a new season comes out. I'm like, no, like I'm not trying to like you, right? I wake up tired. You know what I mean? And so, what's robbing you guys of your time, right? Think about that. Okay, maybe it's people. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's people.
Going out every weekend.
Going out every weekend, drinking. Okay? Netflix, alcohol.
Right, yeah.
What else?
Right.
What's robbing you guys of your time?
He's kidding.
What is it?
My son.
We just said that. We're like, yeah, just get rid of the
Just had to throw them out the window. They
Yeah,
take too much time.
No, but kids, that's a different story, right? That's a different story. But
Kidding, y'all. I love wicked.
you gotta pour into those guys, right? Right. So, I saw this meme the other day. It's like octopus punch fish for no reason. There's like a picture of him. He's like fucking fish. So I want you guys to think about this, right? There are so many different things you guys can do. I don't want to hear the excuse like, "Oh, I don't know where to start." Well, hop on the freaking internet, dude. There's Google, right? But again, there's time that you guys can use to master stuff, right? So again, I'm using YouTube as an example, water business as another example, but there's so many e-commerce stores, Amazon stores, Walmart stores. There's crate. You guys ever heard of crate flipping? Or pallet flipping?
Yeah, pallet flipping.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Weird, right? Right? So there's all sorts of different things, okay? Let's go to the next slide. Habits we should limit, stop. We've already went over that. Okay. Now, what you do with your money is more important than how you make it. Okay? The first thing I need you guys to do is pay off your high interest debt. Okay? There's no point in doing any of the other things, right? You don't, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, okay? If I'm being blunt, you do not deserve to spoil yourself. You do not deserve to take a vacation if you have high interest debt. I'm telling you guys right now. You should attack that viciously. Okay? It's interest, this is how the poor stay poor. This is how the poor stay poor. Right? This is how the banks stay rich. Right? So who here has high interest debt? Right? Awesome. Attack it viciously. Get rid of it. Okay, if you're paying now, if you get approved for like a 0% credit card for 12 months, that's okay, right? This is what I would do. Okay, if you have a high interest rate credit card, I would get approved for a 0%, 12-month, 18-month card, and I would cut I wouldn't even do the balance transfer because they charge you a fee. It depends on how quickly you can pay it off, right? But I would cut up the ones that I have high interest rate debt on, and I would use the 0% one. Because interest is literally like, it's crazy. Even like my dad's like religion, in Islam, it's like against the religion to like pay debt, to pay a high interest rate debt, I'm not sure if Christianity is any similar or different, but it's a no-no. So attack that debt. If you have a high interest rate, car loan, right? Refinance it as fast as you can, right? So, that's the first and foremost thing that you guys ought to do. Okay? Work on your credit. There's so many YouTube videos. Even I made one, it flopped. On how to build better credit, right? How to build your credit. Okay? I learned this in banking. I just worked there, and I don't like having it. When I see it, I'm like, oh, pay that thing off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like seeing it. If I get an interest charge, I'm like, dang it. You know what I mean? I'm calling, like, trying to dispute it and stuff. I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what the heck is this? You didn't tell me this. Like, you didn't tell me that if I kept the balance up until this point, I didn't know my statement date worked that way. Like, I'm paying it off every month after now. So, the reason why you need to hang on to every single dollar is because you're going to need that for what I'm about to show you guys, okay? So, now, once you guys have established, this is your earned income, right? Maybe you guys need to start some side hustles. I don't know what your goals are. I don't. Maybe you guys need to give up Netflix for garage flipping or learning how to do option trading. I don't know. That's something you guys need to figure out. But as you guys start making income, you need to convert it into passive income, okay? I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things that you guys can do to create some passive income or at least have money later down the line. Okay. There's this thing called not just consuming, okay? And a lot of people on social media, the reason why you guys see me promote so much, right? Like I'm promoting because if I'm going to waste any time on social media, I'm going to promote something. I'm going to promote me, my water business. If you guys follow me, you guys probably can see right through all the stuff that I post, right? I'm trying to sell you. Make no mistake about it. I'm trying to sell you on something, right? Water, right? Your water source sucks. You should get mine, right? Right? Insurance, hit me up for a quote, right? Watch my YouTube channel, right? I'm trying to sell, but guess what? So is The Rock, so is Kim Kardashian, so are all these other people. The Rock, all day long. The Rock is a bona fide salesperson, right? Thank you for making Zoa the #1 energy drink in the country with its natural green energy. Terram on a toast for that. You know what I mean? Like, he literally double whammied you. You didn't even realize it. He's like, Terram on a toast for making, Jungle Cruise the #1 Disney movie. I'm like, here's a toast. Purchase my alcohol, my tequila, and drink to my #1 selling movie that you haven't watched yet, but you need to because it's the #1 in America, right? And I get a portion of those ticket sales, right? Right? Reebok or not Reebok, I'm sorry. Under Armour, shoes, this. Like, he's literally every single post. I want you guys to dissect it now. Stop being a consumer and think of it as an owner, right? So some of you guys might not be in a position to own anything right now. Well, here's a solution. Own stocks, okay? If you love Starbucks, buy Starbucks stock. They pay a dividend. The dividend is like they basically pay you just for owning a part of their stock that may grow in value. They will pay you quarterly just for owning a part of their stock, okay? So even if it's like $13 a quarter, that $13 is still better than, you know what I mean? That $13 is what you guys are paying for the balances on your credit cards, right? That you're just like, yeah, it's just $13. No, motherfucker, like, it adds up. It adds up, right? So become owners, not just consumers. Shift your mindset from buying products to owning them, okay? Go to the next one. Actually, let me get on that one. What are some products that you guys love that are not going away anytime soon? Boss told me he's going to Disneyland in April, right? That is a stock I believe in big time, right? Apple, this shit ain't going nowhere. I love Tesla, right? I made a lot of money with them. Products you guys believe in, go. Jordan? I don't think he has a stock. Nike? Amazon's going nowhere anytime soon. That is one of the few companies I think will be here. Google? Coke? Coke?
I got this.
Coke? I don't think
They do have stock.
Sony?
Microsoft.
GameStop. So, I want you guys to think about these companies differently. And with your, how many hours do we have a week? No. 72 hours, free hours. Okay? Spend some time. Go on Google. Right? Look things up. There's so many YouTube videos, so many people that are willing to teach it. I can tell you this, I don't know nothing about it. I just know it's like common sense that I'm like, well, I use Amazon almost every day. It would make sense that I own some of their stock, right? Microsoft's not going anywhere. Disneyland. Dude, nobody's ever replacing Disneyland. These guys will be here forever. Nobody's ever going to replace the magical, you know what I mean? Like, the happiest place on earth, right? It's not going to be Knott's Berry Farm or, you know what I mean? Like, what? I don't even know any characters from Knott's Berry Farm.
It is some good beer, though. I'm not gonna lie. Knott's Berry beer, it's just fire.
So that's something to think about. Now, automate your investing. Okay, same way you guys pay your bills, the same way that your bills come out of your account every single month, and you guys need to just automate your investing. Like, treat it like a bill. It comes out like, oh, that's paying future Marisol. That's paying 50-year-old Marisol. You know what I mean? Like, that's your bill to future Marisol, right? That's your bill to future Jay. So think about it like that. Don't argue it. Just adjust, okay? Because the reason is some of you guys are going to be making a lot more money, all right? Some of you guys are going to start making a lot more money, and I want you guys to live the same but invest the difference. That's what I'm asking you guys to do. If you're not able to do that, then maybe that means you need to start a side hustle. I don't know. something for you guys to figure out, okay? But make it automatic, okay? We pay all our bills first, and then if there's any, money left at the end of the month, we're like, okay, I'll put this in my savings account. Like, that is such a bad strategy. It should come out come out first, right? Let it come out first, and don't argue it, right? And there's some things I want to show you guys. Go ahead and go to the next one. Play this quick video real quick, and I have 20 more minutes. Like the pastors at church, like, I have 5 more minutes, you know what I mean? And they're lying and stuff. I felt like that right now. I got 5 more minutes, I'll let you guys go home. Disney, look at that. You see that? Look at that. Disneyland.
So I don't know where to go. I don't know what to start. But I got to wait till a lot of money before I begin. That is the biggest mistake you can make. So let's say you're a young millennial or even Z generation come along and you're saying, I really want to be financially free, but I don't have any money. You don't need a lot of money. You have the greatest gift on earth, time and compounding. When they asked Warren Buffett, what made you a wealthy man? He said, good genetics, time, and compounding. So what does that mean? If you could commit at 19 years old to just put $300 aside, forget the $1,000. Yes, you can invest $1,000, but what you want is consistency. Let's say you put $300 a month aside. I'm not going to tell them a lot to start with, but you'll get used to it. You get into its automatic deposit. Let's say you go straight in the market. And the market over 100 years has gone up 10%. Over recent years, let's say 8% compounded. So you take the lower number, the 8%, and you only go to 27 years old and you stop. You put in roughly $38,000 into that. It'll grow to $1.8 million. That's the power of compounding. You put little in and got a huge return because you have time. If your best friend comes in and says at 27, when you stop investing, I've never done this, I should do it, and they put $300 a month in every year till they're 65, they'll have less money because you have a little more time. They'll have $1.5 million. Still not bad. They only put $150,000 in over a lifetime, and they got $1.5 million. Pretty good deal. That's what compounding means. You got to get in the game. You got to become an owner, not a consumer. That'll change your life.
Okay, when I first heard this, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? None of that made sense to me. I was like, how? How would the person... Do you guys understand what compounding means a little bit? Crazy, right? The person started at what, 22? Or 19? You said 19. Invested for 8 years? 8 years, stopped, and still had more money than the person that was doing, what did you say, $1,000 a month?
No, 300, but they started at
300, but they started at 27.
And they stopped at 65.
They stopped it, okay. So there's something else that I want to go over with you guys that I want to give you guys just some perspective here, okay? I want to use somebody as an example. You don't have to give me real numbers, but, just hypothetical situation.
I got you.
Vasa? All right. Vasa, how old are you? 23. 23.
right there, top of the page.
Sorry, it's like really hard to see.
To the left.
You got
No,
it.
there you go. The screen's not there, that's why.
Oh, sorry, sir. Dang.
23?
Yeah.
Can you tap it?
No, you didn't hear it.
23. Vasa, what time are you trying to, kick your feet up?
By the time I'm alive.
How old are you? 54. 54. All right. Okay. And hypothetically, how much do you have in your current investments? $400. $400. Put that in there. Okay. How much can you contribute monthly? $100. $100. Nah, you got to put a little bit more than that. Go more.
I'll say 300.
300. Okay. The reason I say your investment should be the same as your car payment. Okay.
15%, 15%.
As it means like 7%.
They're kids, man.
Okay. So the S&P typically, for those of you guys that don't know, the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies, right? It's effortless. You just know that it's the top 500 companies in the world, right? Or in America. I don't even know if it's in America or the world. This is how much I don't know shit about this. I just put my money there, right? So on average, you're going to see some years where it's oof, what happened that year? But then you're going to see other years where it's damn, that's a good return. But it's going to average to be about 10 to 12% annually. Marty set me up with something that averages 13%. Okay, And so go ahead and put 12% here. The reason why this is powerful is because can you zoom out the screen too? Okay. So we're all able to see this, right? So Voss is trying to kick his feet up in 31 years. This $400, if he does $300 a month at 12%, will be 1.2 million. That's honestly not a lot of money right now. It's still not a lot of money with what's going on in the world.
Can you play 45?
And I can send you guys this link too. But this is kind of perspective that you guys need to have. And I'm gonna tie this up into what you guys can do.
Say 35? Yeah, send it at 35. I'm kind of trying to afford it, like with my kids and everything. I don't want to be doing that. How much money do you pay? Investments, I have 400. How much money to trade? I want to contribute like 15 to 2K. I need a 2K. Just rough. But it's 12%. 10 years would be 464,000. I'll send the link out to everyone after.
But again, you guys remember compound. You're not giving it enough time.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to give it enough time.
I mean, that was in 10 years.
So
30 years.
my recommendation, guys, is so we can exit out this. Does this make sense to you guys? You guys should know. Hopefully this can give you guys an idea of what you need to store away every single month. And forgive me, some of you guys, Andy's probably like, dude, my dad taught me this shit way back in the day. You know what I mean? And he probably did. So he's laughing. But I want you guys to think about money a little bit differently. Because I've tried to go over this with all my siblings, and they're still broke, man. They're still broke. It drives me nuts. So, but I can't pull them together like this in a team meeting because I run the show. You know what I mean? Like. So, again, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so what you do with your money is more important than how much you make, okay? Some of you guys are going to make a killing. Some of you guys are going to make a killing doing this. And it's not going to matter because you're going to blow that shit.
Not squad.
I stole this from the Well Squad, okay? So, where to put your money. I'm going to go over something else too. I am a firm believer. So, as far as an index fund, okay, where it's hands off, you just have it set up on auto pay every single month. Our life and retirement guy, Marty, he can set you up with one like he set me up with one, right? I think he set one up for Vasa, or you can set something up with just a Fidelity account or something, Vanguard. Just do your research. Look up like best index funds to put it in, put your money into. Just make sure the fees are low. Okay, that's the number one non-negotiable. The fees can be killer. It can be the difference over a long period of time, having a lot of money and having a little money. Okay, so we talked about owning maybe a business, crypto. You can't ignore this stuff anymore. Okay, can't ignore this stuff anymore. You want to be safe with it? Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm a firm believer in Ethereum right now because it's like the major coin used to purchase all these NFTs, and NFTs are getting started. It's obvious now, like Staples Centers, like Crypto.com now. So Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can get Ethereum right now for like almost like $2,900 a coin, and it's literally going to be like $10,000 a coin in the next year, maybe 2 years. That's the only coin I will tell you guys if you're not sure. Is Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's like the S&P 500 of crypto. It's like the safe ones, right? And there's other stuff too. There's other stuff that's other people that can explain this stuff way smarter than me, but I would recommend take a little portion of what you're making every single month, make it automatic. Okay? All you guys, let me tell you guys how simple it is to really get wealthy. You don't have to do none of this other stuff, right? You don't have to do none of this other stuff. But it's the reason I think I was telling Boss this a long time ago. I'm like disappointed in my parents because getting wealthy is so easy. They could have each left us a house, but they didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't. It's okay. They loved me. They gave me a roof over my head. They gave me food on the table, clothes on my back. I'm super grateful for that. I'd rather be raised in a house full of love than have all the money in the world. But building wealth for your family, for your legacy is so easy. It's as simple as just buying a house as soon as you possibly can. Okay? As soon as you possibly can. Right? Isaiah, you're you're making like $9,000 commission this month plus, right? It's easy. That could be part of your down payment, right? And you could have a down payment in like 2-3 years, 2-3 months, right? You buy a house, you live in it, it appreciates, over the next 5-10 years. Then you do a cash out refinance, right? So Isaiah buys his house at this price, right? The value goes up to here, right? He can withdraw, he can take a loan out on 80% of this, right? And he can use that money to buy another house to move into. And he can rent this one out. Does that make sense?
Living on GC, you can cash out the equity.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then rinse, recycle, repeat. Do that again.
As long as you're
Do that again with this house, right? This one's being paid off. Maybe you could turn this one to an Airbnb, right? This one's being paid off by somebody else, right? Paying off, chipping away at that mortgage, right? You do that 2, 3, 4 houses, you're set. You don't have to do none of the other stuff I'm going over today, right? How simple is that? I'm like mad my parents didn't set us up that way, right? Like, Dad, I used to owe money on this house. Like, it's been here for like 50 years, But it's okay. They weren't educated. They did what they could, right? You guys hopefully will seek this knowledge. Will seek this information. But lock down a house right now. Even though, it's like, don't try to time the market either. I know it's like, I tried to time the market in 2012. You know how stupid that was? You know who bought a Dodge Charger in 2013 when I should have bought a house for $220,000 that's now worth like $420,000?
Not only that, so the interest rate right now is at low. It's at like 2.7.
Yeah. But I bought a Charger.
Was.
So I come from like a little bit of experience. I just wish somebody smacked me upside the head and taught me this stuff. Do whatever you can to get locked into a house, right? Especially if you don't plan on leaving anytime soon. Do what you can, okay? Locked into a house, it builds some equity, you can do a cash out refinance and do whatever the heck you want afterwards. But that cycle right there that I just went over is literally the recipe for wealth. You own 4 houses 30 years from now, each of them are going to be worth a minimum like $600K, $700K. What's math? 700 times 4? Okay? You can literally screw up everything else and be straight, right? So, something to keep in mind there, guys. All right. Let's move on to the next one. And then cash, guys. Anything other than emergency fund, I would not recommend keeping cash. Like, it's just not doing anything right now. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Okay. I just want to further solidify this point right here. If you look at the average home price, let's go right here. 07 crisis. It hits the fan. And what does it do? It continues to go up. This is likely to, adjust. It's going to adjust. But is it going to crash? No, it's not. So, huh? No. Will it cry? Will it adjust? Yes, but is it going to, it's not going to, right here, right? You know what I mean? It's not going to. It's a physical asset. So, okay. Just want to show you guys that. Now, not sure where to start. All right, this is where I'm kind of concluding, guys. For stocks, I use Fidelity. It's real simple. If you guys want to buy individual stocks, you can also buy index funds through there. I believe there's an automatic feature. I just wait till like massively red days before I buy a little bit, right? Anything counts, right? Disney took a crap recently. Everything took a crap. And I bought a little bit, and it's like already up, right? Fidelity, Robinhood, they don't charge you fees to trade, okay? So that's for stocks, that's what I would do. For crypto, I would download Coinbase. Go to the next slide. Coinbase is
Crypto.com is what I use.
or Crypto.com. However, with Crypto.com, they will not put the accurate price. So they're shaving off. They're shaving off some of the.
I checked both.
Yeah, they're kind of shady. So be careful with that. All right. Okay. Again, I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. I'm just I don't want you guys being like, Nick, you screwed me over, man. You know, like, I don't want none of that. I'm not giving you guys financial advice. I'm telling you guys to use those 72 hours more wise. So you guys don't have to be, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what opportunity you guys jump into, if you don't get this right, you guys are going to struggle financially forever. No matter where you work, right? So, safe stocks, think of the strongest ones, like the strongest companies. Think of it as a business too, right? You're going to have so many people too, like, oh, you got to get this one. They have the cure for cancer, right? They got the cure for, you know, all this stuff. And don't buy these penny stocks. Don't buy the speculative stuff. Buy strong businesses. Does that make sense? Okay.
Sure,
Safe coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, in my opinion, they're the safest. Ethereum has a lot more, you know, upside, in my opinion. And if you guys want to talk with Marty, okay, I will tell you guys this. Marty deals with like high-profile people, like people with hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know it's not worth Marty's time to set up like, you know, like our little accounts, like our you know what I mean, our very humble, noble accounts. Like I'm trying to get him to set up my siblings' accounts, and it's not worth his time. But what I'm telling Marty is, look, if you help my team with this, and Marty has no problems talking to you guys and helping you guys, right? But by helping you guys out, when you guys identify big clients that we talk with on a daily basis, Marty's going to win because of that. Does that make sense? Because you guys can be like, I got a financial specialist, I got a retirement and a life and retirement planner that can help you out with some of these things. So I would recommend, you know, once you do some of the other things we talked about today, attack your high interest rate debt, build up a little bit of a kind of an emergency fund, anything in excess of that, I would save up. Try to start something with like $1,000 or $500, whatever you guys can afford, and get on a plan monthly. Marty can set you up with an index fund, some sort of like we're all particularly young, so I told him I want the aggressive one, right? Because it's like a lot of the tech stocks and things like that, things that have a little bit more aggressive, and that's why it averages typically about a 13% return. So talk to Marty, or again, do your own research and set the stuff up for your guys yourselves. I wish I did this when I was your guys' age. If I was Caden's age, oh my God, I'd be a dangerous man. I'd be a dangerous man if I, you know, met me. If I met somebody at Protein Source and he recruited me to go do sales, where I can actually control what I'm making. You know, because when I was in banking, it was just like, we had some pathetic commissions in banking. Let me tell you guys. I was like, I'd hustle my face off to make like $1,200 every quarter. Yes, no bullshit.
Yeah.
And then when they came out with, we're going to pay you $20 a credit card, I was like, bet. You know what I mean? I was a credit card champion for like 2 years in a row, son. I was like, you get a credit card. Like, sir, did you know that you got approved for 0%? Like, you still living at 123 Main Street? Like, oh, you know what I mean? You still working at this place? So when they came out with those, you were in a little bit more control of controlling what you made, and so I would try to attack that and control, you know, what I was making. You guys have that opportunity here. I think, does that conclude us, Jacob? Okay. So, you guys learned something today? Hopefully, something. I hope you guys will do something with it. I'm just hoping to make a small impact in your guys' lives. I want you guys to set some of this stuff up, because you guys are all going to arrive somewhere. 10 years from now, 5-10 years from now, you're going to arrive somewhere. Hopefully you arrive to a perfectly designed situation and not just, how the fuck did I get here? You know what I mean? And statistics show that a lot of people will just arrive places. You know what I mean? Like 99% of people. So, anyways, I hope you guys got some value out of that. Thank you guys. Yeah. Cool. 1 o'clock.
Easy.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm on the phone, brother.